Hello traders, good day to you all. This is Christopher Glen. Today it is the 18th of June 2014 and this is a daily market review for the current market status. Yesterday we had a pretty red day, pretty bad day in terms of economy. We had bad announcements regarding the pound, regarding the euro. So the European session expressed an additional weakness, and after that, when we received an additional information regarding the dollar, we can see that the dollar expressed a bit of weakness yesterday after the announcement, but then again it's corrected its path, and we can say that the eyes at the moment, there's a lot of expectation regarding today's announcement. I do expect today to add an additional liquidity to the market and add an enormous amount of potential in terms of good trades in many markets, stock markets, trading indices, options, and even currencies. Right now, we're expecting to see another announcement regarding the pound. Usually, this announcement is not bringing anything to the market because, as we can see, for the past 6 months, or even if we'll add an additional indication, we can see that since August 2013, we had no change in the indication of asset purchase facility votes, and the bank rate again stays the same as it was for the past year or so. So no question about that. I do not see any potential to add liquidity from the announcement that we're expecting to see in 2 hours from now. But after that, we will have an additional indication regarding the market, and wholesale sales, definitely good report on behalf of the Canadian dollar. And after that, we have the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee statement, and economic projections. Very important to see what will be the path that the Federal Committee will choose to walk through, especially because of what's going on behalf of Yellen in the U.S. market regarding the Federal Reserve. After that, we have a press conference. So during the entire U.S. market session, I'm expecting to see a lot of liquidity, market bouncing from one side to another. GDP over here regarding the New Zealand. Last time that I was analyzing a potential of an announcement regarding the New Zealand with you with the daily market analysis, I said that usually I do not expect to see a lot of liquidity driven out of announcements regarding the New Zealand dollar, because we know that the economy itself, the expression itself, is very small and usually it delivers nothing. But last announcement was very powerful, changed the strength of the New Zealand significantly in the markets, and I do expect to see this chain reaction repeat itself. I do expect the announcement regarding the New Zealand to form an additional liquidity to the market, and we can definitely follow that. Let's go to the chart. Let's see what changed from our last session. We've got a good one over here. Just 1 second. Okay, I saw something on the Japanese yen. There we go. The Canadian dollar versus Japanese yen is good potential to drop down. That's a 15-minute analysis, but let's go further. I saw a great potential of this chart to drop down, and yeah, I've been talking about this expectation for a lot of time, for long. The A, the B, that's the C pattern. It seems like the Canadian dollar reached a peak where it's expressing the largest amount of strength that it can, and we do expect to see a divergence over here. By the way, the Canadian dollar is expected to lose strength in front of many other assets, so it's logical to see a downtrend movement on the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. Let's look at other areas. Australian dollar versus Japanese yen, another interesting chart. On one side, on the daily chart, we've reached an exhaustion level over here, and there's a great potential to see an uptrend movement. But going down to lower time frame, I still see a good potential for this downtrend to fulfill its entire structure. When I'm saying fulfilling its structure, I mean that we will receive an entire A wave, B wave, and a C wave dropping down. Right now we've received the 1, the 2, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 of the third, the 5th of the third, 4, and 5th dropping down. My expectation is that this chart will drop down to 94, 95. That's at the line over here. 94, 95. Let's do it 95, and that's it. 95. It's a logical pullback to complete its structure of an entire C wave forming 5 waves. We can see a good expectation of a downtrend over here across on the stochastic. On an hourly chart is a very accurate indication. We can see that according to the past we've received a very accurate indication regarding divergence, and that's what I'm expecting to see over here. Continuance of a downtrend, 95.5 till 95. That's approximately 50 pips of a move, and we do expect to see an uptrend movement after that. Let's go to other charts, our regular charts that I like to analyze regarding the dollar's condition. Just as I was expecting, the South African rand climbed higher. All the arrows that are marked over here were marked before, and as you can see, a very nice clean uptrend movement regarding the strength of the dollar and the weakness of the South African rand. We can see the same approach on the Turkish. Again, I was expecting to see an uptrend over here. It seems like we've got a completion of a corrective pattern over here, and there's a great potential to see a downtrend. How do I say that? When will I say that the downtrend is acceptable? Once we'll cross the trend line, the inner trend line of this pattern. We've received a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5th wave in a conjunction. So I do expect to see a bit more bouncing backward and forward. After that, we will break the trend line over here, and then the market is expected to continue lower. The potential of this trade is enormous because we've got a great entry point and a great stop loss. Okay, very nice conjunction that will dictate what will be the stop loss and the take the trade accurate entry point. The potential over here is great in terms of the downtrend. We do expect to see very clean and smooth downtrend. I'm expecting to see something like 7% of downtrend movement. It's approximately 700 pips, and that will be a great trade to participate in for a downtrend movement. We'll just have to cross the trend line and then take the setup that's marked over here, and that's a great setup for a trade in terms of the percentage, in terms of measurements regarding the risk in front of the reward. The Russian ruble, I said that I'm expecting to see it climbing higher, and indeed it's climbing higher as we speak. You can go back several days to the analysis and see that that was my expectation back then. Great currencies because the movement on them is enormous, and they reflect a very accurate indication of the elite wave analysis. It's easier for us to analyze these charts, no question about it. Okay, let's look at the commodities. Let's see if something interesting is forming on the gold and silver. We've received a very nice spike here for the last half an hour. Small one, but definitely shows that at the moment, from the beginning of the trading session, we've received weakness on behalf of the dollar. That is the expectation. Let's see the dollar index. Okay, so indeed we've received some sort of weakness over here on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the larger time frame, see what is our expectation from the dollar index. We've received a very clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse movement over here. We've received a corrective pattern, an A wave, a B wave, and at the moment I can't say, it seems like we've completed. One second. We've received the A wave, the B wave, and it seems like this is a completion of 5 waves, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and 5 for the C wave. That might be the case if we're talking about 61.8% of this downtrend movement. It's logical not an entire one-to-one length of the air wave equivalent to the sea wave. Therefore, if that's the case, and it seems like the case because of the impulse movement of the uptrend, again, we will need to see this line over here breaking before we'll be able to proceed higher with the trend. That's the dollar index. It will express the same potential on the dollar Swiss franc, and the euro versus the US dollar. Euro versus the US dollar will be a downtrend, a short position, and dollar Swiss franc will be a long position once we'll cross this support and resistance line. We can see that this support and resistance line is an ancient one. It's really blocking the price accurately, and our expectation is to see a very important indication that will cause this trend line to climb higher. I remind you that we've got the Federal Open Market Committee, or today the FOMC. They'll reach a conclusion regarding economy, and that will definitely change the aspect of the dollar. So we're pretty locked over here in a very concentrated area. Divergence, uptrend or downtrend after the announcements will reflect the potential of long-term movements. We will have to wait and see what will break first, the downtrend or the uptrend. So just after the announcement, we'll have the answer for that. On the daily chart, it seems like the potential is to climb higher. Okay, traders, I'll wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day and bye-bye.